there's been another witch doctor at work. Now, yeah,
But we do need to talk about this because it is really... The thing is, when I was up in Makerfield, as much as a lot of the Reform bunch said that it didn't affect the result, a lot of people did bring it up. Yeah. A lot of
it goes like this, folks. He received a £5 million gift from Christopher Harborne, the crypto billionaire who's based in Thailand, ostensibly to pay for his own security. But when quizzed about this amount, what are you really going to do with it? It's none of your business. Today's story is that he raked in £270,000 for doing just 12 hours work as a brand ambassador for a gold bullion dealer. That's £22,500 an hour.
We should have really got on that train. I mean, if you want to sponsor talk gold bullion, you know, I'd be happy. Yeah. I'll
do it for half the money.
Yeah, half the money.
I'll work 12 hours for you for £135,000.
Good deal.
Make a fairer offer than that.
Picture this, a room full of politicians, all convinced the public adores them while the actual polling numbers are quietly screaming into a pillow. Welcome back to Britain Unpacked, where today we're asking one simple question. Has Westminster officially become the least popular club in the country? Quick favour before we dive in. If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. Over 90% of you watching haven't yet, and it genuinely helps this channel keep digging up the stories nobody else wants to touch. Right, back to the chaos.
People do not like this, and the iPaper is now reporting if Nigel Farage is found guilty of breaking parliamentary rules by accepting this £5 million gift within 12 months of him becoming an MP. He claims that he has not broken parliamentary rules, but if he's found guilty of that, he's apparently, according to the iPaper, telling friends that he's very worried about facing a by-election in his Clacton constituency.
He won that by about 8,000 votes. He had a very clear victory back in 2024, but there is a possibility that he could lose that seat for sure if there's a by-election.
Look, let me ask you, folks. We do have to talk about this. I know a lot of you are massive fans of Nigel Farage, and he deserves enormous credit for his remarkable achievements of what he's done with Reform UK. Let's not forget they are still easily leading the polls. They are the most popular party in the country at the moment. But his personal finances are beginning to cast a cloud over the Reform success story. And we know, don't we, Samara, that at Reform Towers, at their HQ, all is not well.
Yeah, and this iPaper exclusive does reveal quite a lot about what may or may not be going on inside. I mean, I think that we can definitely deduce that there's some cold feet happening towards the leadership. I think Farage is feeling probably as unsteady as he's ever felt. And there are reasons for that, you know. Keir Starmer was a very easy opponent to come up against. And you had the Conservatives that were dead in the water. And now things have changed. It has progressed. Andy Burnham, love him or hate him, he's a far more popular, charismatic leader that will be able to actually group together the Greens and the Lib Dems for sort of this Lib-Lab-Green coalition that could absolutely bar Farage from number 10. And so times are changing, and we need to look at these donations. So, and I do think it's important to scrutinise, because I lived in Russia, for example, where there's a lot of this type of stuff that goes on. And that country is a mess because of it. And I think if you don't really start to scrutinise this stuff early on, then you can go down a very dark...
Hold on to your tea, because Farage's troubles don't stop at polling. Enter Christopher Harborne, a crypto billionaire based in Thailand, who allegedly handed Farage a cool £5 million. The timing? Suspiciously close to Farage becoming an MP in Clacton back in 2024. Cue a standards investigation that could, in theory, trigger a recall petition and an entirely new by-election. Talk about an expensive plot twist.
And he has faced questions about it. He said the annoying thing is that he keeps changing his story. So first he said it was a gift for Brexit, then he said it was to pay for personal security. Now he's saying he hasn't used a cent of it. So I do think people deserve transparency when it comes to this payment, considering that it was made within the 12 months before he then ran to be an MP. I do agree that Farage has had huge issues with the government when it comes to his personal security. You know, after Charlie Kirk's
he
death,
deserves
they cut down the security.
To pay for his security.
Yeah, and they don't. Then they haven't been. And I've seen how intense his security is. It's pretty. He's got 3 people on 24 hours a day. That would cost a lot of money. But I think it's interesting. Mr. Harborne joined the electoral register, actually, and moved everything. He moved basically his register to the United Kingdom so that he could vote and so that he also could contribute even more money to Reform UK. So my question simply is, what is Harborne's motive here?
Well, I think he obviously wants Reform UK to win the next election. He wants Nigel Farage to be the Prime Minister, and there's no such thing as a free lunch. Obviously, he'll want quite a lot in return for that. That's the way it goes. But we've got to, the point is Nigel Farage. Personally, I'm a great admirer of his, and he deserves to be admired. What he's achieved is amazing, and I think in many respects he really does dial in to the psyche of this nation. He understands we don't want all these foreigners breaking in. We don't want the migrant crisis. We don't want this net zero insanity ruining the economy and our personal finances. He understands all that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he quite understands about fiscal jealousy. People in Britain do not like seeing people make mountains of money. He is transparently making mountains of money. I'm not criticising him for it, nor are you, but there are political realities in the optics of this.
Absolutely. I mean,
Now, here's where it gets deliciously murky. Farage's explanation for the money has shifted more times than British weather. First it was for Brexit, then it became personal security. Now, apparently, none of it has even been spent. Curious, isn't it, how the story keeps evolving, but the money never seems to move.
Boy, though.
Beneath the narrative. But Farage, he has become a talking point, and we understand, according to the iPaper, that Reform insiders have informed the iPaper that Farage may be losing his appetite to lead Reform UK into the next election.
So, as of April 2026, Reform UK has received more than £22 million in total from Christopher Harborne. So that's roughly 2/3 of all the party's donations have come from this one guy since its foundation, which is just interesting information.
And just when you think it can't get more theatrical, Farage reportedly pocketed £270,000 for 12 hours of work as a gold bullion brand ambassador. That works out to roughly £22,000 an hour. Not bad for a day's work if you can call flogging gold bars for photographs work. Zoom out and Reform UK's total donations sit north of £22 million, with roughly 2/3 traced back to Harborne alone. One donor, 2/3 of the funding. Make of that what you will. So what's the real takeaway here? This isn't really about left versus right anymore. It's about trust, transparency, and whether politicians can keep their stories straight for longer than a news cycle. Thanks so much for watching Britain Unpacked. We'll see you in the next one.